Ladies and journals, how are we doing? Yeah, well, here's another one, you see, another 335 Studio, in the same colour as the one that we did in October, but from a different year. So we'll see if there's any difference for a start, but what I have to say before we get going is I do find it slightly puzzling why, well, this is another one that it's just not being played. It's just not being played at all. It's spent most of its life in the massive case that is supplied with these fine instruments. I really struggle to understand why you would have a lovely semi and not play with it. It just astonishes me. So, let's have a listen and have a look round. Yes, and here we are. So, there are two, of course, to choose from, both 57s, and they are my favourite pickups. So, let's have a listen, starting with the bridge end. Fabulous. Into the centre. Great, isn't it? And on to the neck. So, that's our pickups. Let's have a look round. So what I do note with these hollow bodies or semi-hollow bodies is that the serial number, you see, on the back. I bet that you can't see that because, and it's, I've got the curtains open. It's nice and bright in here, but they're very, very delicately stamped, I find. So I brought you the book. And here is our book. And you can see the, because I know people like seeing them, they like seeing the serial numbers. So you can see the serial number there. Of course, you can make it out on the back, but you need, you know, specs, better light, all that kind of script. And of course, it does have the serial number on the orange Memphis sticker, which you won't be able to see inside there. So there are, start the head, we'll go stem to stern, as we do. So you've got the Gibson gold silkscreen logo, you've got the truss rod cover that's got the F emblazoned thereupon. Round the back we've got these delightful Grover kidney bean tuners. And this thing is mint. It is mint. It has that. The guy that originally owned this, it's one previous owner, low mileage instrument, and he has this, and he's got an HSS Strat, Mexican, and the Strat he gigs with and doesn't care what happens to it particularly. But this one, he just got, for some reason, he told me that he just got all precious about it and didn't want to put a mark on it, and it is literally, for 5, almost 6 years, just lived in its case. And that is evident by the lack of anything on it. What he did do, in fact, so precious was he about it, that he fitted shallow strap locks because he didn't want any, you know, anything horrid to happen to it. The originals are in the case. It's like finding, but well, I know it's only 5 years, but it's still time warpy. So I mean, clearly there are there's no breaks, cracks, dents, repairs, or anything else going on here. In fact, there's even I can't even really see. I mean, you always get a bit of paint sink around the glue joints, but I can't see anything on this. And you know that 335, the grown-up 335, the full fat version instead of the 335 light. What you can always see with those 335s, I've had a couple of three of those through the doors over the years, and what I always note is that you can see on the back, you can see the difference in the woods. Well, you won't with this because it's on the same wood. You've got an all maple neck, you've got an all maple body, which is back, front and sides. And does it have any acoustic properties? None. Even though it's a centre block. Imagine it. A centre block, and of course the wings are hollow. But really, imagine these as a through neck stick with two bits nailed onto either side, because quite honestly they don't really do anything. It's as acoustic as my left leg. So I want you to have a look at it first. There's the lightest, almost imperceptible picking marks on this, and it's like new. These can be, there's no buckle rash or anything like that, and it is, the other thing that I like about these is it's a proper burst, you know, like, I think that people have started referring to the pear drop shaped burst as the Adam Jones style, which of course his Les Pauls are noted for particularly. And we have spoken about this before, the difference between bursts. So on that fabulous Nighthawk silver burst, although it certainly is a burst, it's a perimeter burst, which of course means that you've got an even amount of burst around the sides, whereas these are what I will call a more traditional burst, where it's that pear drop shape there. Okay, so we've got a Memphis Stocktail and the AVR2 Tunematic bridge with a pair of 57s. I think it's a 57 Classic in the neck and a 57 Plus in the bridge. You'll probably see some photos here in a moment, or already, I'm not really sure. Action, just dreamy, absolutely dreamy. It's at where, for my preference, guitars should sit, which is 1.25 at the 12th fret. That's where I like to see them. And I think that, I mean, really, that is it. The prices. We are on February the 16th today, 2022. And whereas a used 335 standard will cost you 26, 27, 2800 quid for a used one. They're 3800 quid new. These are significantly cheaper, but even these I think are about 2200 quid new, and you normally pick them up for about 1,500 on the used market, depending upon condition and, you know, if they've got the book and the case and all the other stuff. So all in all, a really fabulous guitar. And as I've said before, do you know what? I should have measured this in terms of body size against a 335 standard, because for some reason they don't feel quite as imposing. You know what is here? I like a little bus. Now, what I'm on about this, so we've got the neck here, we've got maple centre block here, and then you've got these wings tacked on the side. There is a before I go, just let me write this down. Hang on. So one of our contributors, Michael Wood, made a remark about one of the other videos, and what's the point, just get a lump of, oh, that was it, about that Firebird Zero. And what he said was quite right. If you have not seen this video, Jim Lill tested where does the tone come from in an electric guitar. Gotta tell you, it's worth a watch, because it demonstrates probably something that we've all guessed at some point, and if you haven't seen it, watch it. It's quite amazing. In fact, it's mind-blowing, although his research and test would involve you carrying around a very large heavy wooden workbench and two Nakadone Honda engines. Have a look at it. Right, with that, I shall bid you a fond farewell, and I'll see you on Wednesday. Have a lovely rest of the weekend, folks. Adios amigos. Ta-ra.